Good morning from the desert. My name is Tom and I'm based out of Phoenix, Arizona, and this is the daily DoorDash journey through the desert. Now, yesterday I promised at the end of the day that I was going to go through a strategy that I use for volume, that is a calculation for the amount of time that a customer buys from you at $15 or $20 per hour, and you can also calculate this for $25 or $30 per hour. So I've got like less than 10 minutes to try and get this video done, so we'll sort through as many of these as possible. I'm giving up my first 30 minutes of my shift, a loss of $10, just to be able to give this to you guys. So the way that I do this is that the offer value, like this $11.50, that's the dollar amount of the offer, and it's going 8.9 miles. So I'm going to round this off just to make the calculations a little bit easier. But if you take 60 minutes and you divide it by $15 per hour, you come up with a number of 4. That 4 times 15 minutes is 60 minutes. And if you want to do this for $20 an hour, then 3 times 20 is 60. So we're going to take this $11.50 and we're going to calculate for $15 per hour. So we're going to change it to 12 just to make the math easier. So 4 times 12 means that they bought 48 minutes of your time. Now, I know that I drive in-street miles at 2 minutes per mile. So at 8.9, we're going to round that up to 9. So that means 2 times 9 means it's only going to take 18 minutes for that to be completed. So they bought 48 minutes of my time, but it's only going to take 18 minutes. Now, this is provided that there's no wait for the merchant at all. So this obviously for me was an accept. Now, if I drive down freeway miles, then instead of doing 2 times the miles, I only do 1 times the miles, because I'm able to drive 60 plus miles per hour. So this offer here is also an accept. We're going to say 6.45. We're going to round that up to 7. At 15 minutes, that means that they bought 7 times 4, means they bought 28 minutes of my time. And at 2 minutes per mile, going 3.8, we're going to round that up to 4. That means it's only going to take me 8 minutes to do this job. This is a profitable job as well. Now let's change this over to, is this a $20 per hour job? And we're going to say, 7 times 3 means that they bought 21 minutes, but the mileage does not change. So 4 times 2 is 8. So this is already a $20 per hour job. Now, I don't have my calculator out or any of that type of stuff, but if you want to do $25, it's 2.4, say 2.5. So you can do that math. You can do that math as well. So 7 times 2 is 14. Half of 7 is 3.5. So that would be 17 minutes. And again, 3.8 times 2 is only going to be roughly 8. So this is actually a $25 per hour job, provided that there's no wait at the merchant. So if you calculate that way, you'll find that there's going to be a lot more offers that you're going to accept, instead of just saying, I'm not going to go do a $6.45 job. Because see, the amount of time that it takes you to actually complete it leaves the rest of that hour for you to get more offers. Now, another little side note. See, there's only, say, 52 cards in a deck, and you have no idea how many people are going to be playing inside of the card game. And you have no control over what cards you're going to get. So yes, you can sit and you can keep on waiting for those face cards, for the jacks and the queens and the kings and the banger ace. But there's only so many jobs that are out there, and there's no way of controlling as to whether or not you're going to get the cards that you want or not. So you have to play the hand that you're dealt. And if you're actually out there moving and running these jobs, then you'll find that you're starting to bank up extra dollars inside of your account for the day. And so that's how I do it. And I think, a lot of people will be like, yeah, but you're putting more miles, on your car and all the other type of stuff. Well, see, I believe, for me, that the more money that I pile up, say I work 18 hours, you're not, but I am. I'm working 18 hours and I'm making $360. And say I drove, say 300 miles. And let's say the tax write-off is 70 cents per mile. So 300 times 70 cents is $210 for that day that I get to write off for my vehicle expenses, and I made $360. So that means that I pocketed $150 of net profit. Take that into 18 hours, and I made less than $10 per hour on paper and math. Yes, that's true. But you know what? I did not spend $210 on my vehicle. And even if I had a $1,000 expense, it would take me only 4.5, 5 days roughly, to make that money for a $1,000 repair, leaving the rest of $360 of having cash flow. See, this is a cash flow game. And you're trying to pile up the cash, and the government allows you, because they're trying to move the economy and everything else, to give you that write-off for your vehicle expenses, to succeed. And that's how they do it. Now, in normal business, the reason why they give those tax breaks to the big guys that are out there, that everybody wants to throw the Walmarts and everybody under the bus, is because when they let the big guy go and they don't tax him to death, and yes, that means that you're a little big guy or girl, the reason why they let them go is because usually employers like that, they hire thousands of people who are blindly paying in 18% in their taxes. And those people are the ones that are actually supporting, the government, because the big guy brought an idea and a concept and brought merchandise to the masses and employment to the masses, and that's how the machine works. Now, when you tax the big guy out of existence, then the employees are left holding the bag when the big guy decides that he's going to take his ball and leave and not participate anymore. He's like, fine, I'll just take my money and go. Well, then that 1,000 employees that are out there all of a sudden don't have a job, and the money's not flowing into the government. So all the social programs that now these people may need for housing assistance, medical, for food stamps and everything else, that 18% is not going into the coffers. So you have to look at this from a business standpoint instead of from the employee standpoint. And many of us came over from being an employee into the business side, and we just don't know how the machine works. But I suggest that you actually sit down and take a bigger picture and actually try to understand how this machine works, and it may open your eyes up to some other things. It may broaden your perspective on how capitalism inside the United States actually works. Now, I apologize for this speed class, but I've got like a minute or so to close this out, and I hope that you have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe, give me your feedback on this, and let's have a discussion. With that, I'm going to get out of here and go make some money.